folks, welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don, where I react to non-pop country music. Now we're going to find out what Jerry Lee Lewis has for us. It was a gift request of Eliyahs Romans, and Eliyahs knows his stuff when it comes to country. So Eliyahs, firstly, thank you for the gift and this request. Now you never know what you're getting from Jerry Lee on something, but in one sense he was like Elvis in that everything he did went large. He was such a superstar. I mean, Elvis is the superstar, as we know. But would you take another chance on me? Now, Eliyahs said this, though, and this is the intriguing part. In his email to me, in the gift request, he said, Eliyahs, he's not married. We're in a real relationship, but this song hits him hard. And so this hits Eliyahs hard, even though he's not married or in a quote-unquote real relationship, where I assume that means like deep, committed, long-term relationship. So that means you've got a good heart, Eliyahs. If you can relate to others and you can relate to these sorts of concepts without it directly impacting you, like contemporaneously, presently, you got a good heart and a good imagination, too. Would you take another chance on me? Jerry Lee Lewis from 1971. Ooh, dramatic.
Yep, I promise you to straighten up and put my life in order. If I swear to you, woman, on bending knees, I won't hurt you again. If I become the kind of man that you want me to be, would you take another chance on me?
This is what I say to, whether it's with my clients or friends or whomever in a relationship. I've said this on the channel a lot of times. There's a balance to be found between what you're giving up to be in a relationship. Okay, there's a union, and you got to compromise on some things, but you can't compromise on too much and lose a sense of yourself, because you'll kind of become unhappy over time. You'll lose a sense of who you are. And that will bleed out into her, in this case, from the male's perspective, her perception of you and her gradual disaffection in ways. And so it's an appropriate compromise that you've got to make in certain ways, and maybe how you talk, how you don't talk, how you communicate, how you don't communicate, whatever the issues may be. But she fell in love with you for a reason. And it wasn't just because she thought she could shape and mold you, although virtually every woman thinks that. Not every woman, but the majority of women think they're going to, especially younger women. And they do. We need that, right? But the same thing's true in the opposite direction. We impact the women that we're with, but by and large, a relationship in so many ways revolves around the woman. So it's appropriate to ask yourself as a dude, as he is in this song, if I change some things, but I don't know where he's going to go with this song, how much different narrative we're going to get from it. But this is one of these things that just makes me visualize that graph between you got to hold on to yourself as a dude. She's got to hold on to herself as a woman. But there are certain parts that you both give up so that this part of it works.
The good Lord knows I've done you wrong. I've asked Him to forgive me. Deep inside I think He would, darling, if you could do the same. If I could take back all the things that caused you misery, would you take another chance on me? Would you take another chance on me? I paid for my mistakes. I've been a fool, woman, for hurting you. But God, can't you see I'm sorry? If you were only mine again, I'd make it up to you. But my past keeps blinding you. If you could only see, would you take another chance on me?
What did he do in this song? We never find out. Never find. They don't tell us.
Think about it, darling.
Think about it, darling. That line right there is likely a mistake if you say that in a relationship, because what it reveals is that you're still trying to be in control. You're giving her a commandment. First, you ask her a question. Would you take another chance on me if I change? Think about it. Now, those are two divergent approaches. One makes you vulnerable. The other is you're telling her what to do. It may not seem that way, but that is what is going on there. You've just got to leave yourself as vulnerable. If you screw up, she's in control at this point of your happiness. You are vulnerable, and it's because you screwed up, right? You admitted it. I don't know what he did in this song. I don't know if this is autobiographical, taken from Jerry Lee's real life, philandering, cheating, and all that stuff. Or whatever he may have done. I don't know. I don't know the whole story there. But I know the hoopla around, marrying, what was it, like his second cousin who was 13 or something. But in this song, anyhow, the representation and the narrative in the song, in the end, think about it, darling. It's like, no, dude, you're still trying to maintain control. And, you just ceded control to her because she could say no. A genuine, would you forgive me? Like if you say, would you forgive me? You're vulnerable. The person could say no. They could say, I'll think about it, and leave you dangling for another 6 months or week or day. And you just don't know. And that is proper. They don't have to give an answer right away. They don't even have to think about it. I get the fight. I get the desire to have her back and laying your heart out there, however it is. And, but as far as Jerry Lee's sensitivity, he always sings well. Always. He just puts himself out there as he is. And in this, Eliyahs, this was a sensitive, delicate song that has me wondering, what did the guy do? Of course, I'm always wondering, is this autobiographical or is this taken from his real life? I don't know who wrote the song, but will she respond well to his pleading? And if it's autobiographical, he went so far as to put it in a song. I don't know if he had to rush it to get it out there too, because time's a ticking. But you're vulnerable. When you screw up, when you ask forgiveness, they might say no. And you have to own it. That's the thing. That's why I made such a point in the end. It doesn't appear that way to most folks. It just seems like a throwaway statement. Think about it, darling. It's like, no, the way you say things, absolutely, it reveals a lot. You don't want to read too much into things, but you don't want to read too little into things either. So that's just an observation, and maybe you could take something from, if you're of the mindset that if you're going to ask something of somebody and then you finish it off with a command or think about it. It's like, how about stay in the vernacular of question mode? Would you please think about it? You're still vulnerable. Hey, that's consistent and that's fair, and it fully it shows more that you fully recognize or recognize more fully that you're not in control, that you did screw up, that you're contrite, and you're hopeful she'll take you back, but you're not bossy. It shows you're not in a position to control anything. But Jerry Lee just sells everything. I mean, so Eliyahs, this one hits you. And yeah, I won't ask about. We can all relate to songs in different ways. We can remember our younger selves. Maybe we did this. When I make commentary too, it's frequently because I speak from experience. It's not because I'm indicting or judging anybody. I don't judge other people really. I mean, you've heard me say this. The one thing I do have a problem with is when people are mean spirited. Like, I just don't handle that well. Someone could disagree with me, disagree with other people, but there are ways of doing it. But when you see that somebody's got a mean streak or a mean bone or they're being mean, a switch flips in me. And I don't handle that well. But otherwise, I'm not judgmental. I mean, I've not walked in someone's shoes. What I can do is speak to certain principles and observations, and if it resonates with you or with others, I don't mean you personally, Elias. I mean it certainly applies to everybody, including myself. That just pay attention to certain things, and if it resonates and it's a change that you can readily make or you want to make through some effort, then run with it. But be careful how you say things. You may think you're saying things in a nice way, but you're blinded to the fact that you're still coming across as the guy who wants to say what he wants. I like the harmonies in this. The bass line was a simple, standard country bass line. He didn't go rockabilly in this one, or rock. He stayed just in the pocket of a sensitive ballad, and I really did like the sort of like choir almost that came in behind it a few times in this. So I'm going to rate this song. Very simple song. I'm glad I was exposed to this, though. The number that popped into my head was an 8.6. Very, very simple song, and I get the sense that it was almost rushed out there because this is real. You'll let me know if I'm on the right track or not. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. The one and only Jerry Lee Lewis. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.